Hi, my name is Jason Lord. I'm a doctor and I'm also an entrepreneur, and like every entrepreneur today needs to be, I am a digital marketer. About 15 years ago, out of necessity, I leaped into the world of digital marketing. You see, while I was in private practice, I had an idea for a software as a service product that would be very useful to other doctors. Now, creating the software was fun, but building the company to sell the software is where the heavy lifting began. And since then, my career has taken me on an extraordinary path. I've built and sold a successful private health practice. I've started and built not one, but two successful digital-based companies. I've consulted for numerous B2C and B2B companies across multiple industries, educating and advising them on digital sales and marketing. Now, I know there's lots of so-called marketing gurus out there, and it can be hard to know who is worth listening to. However, I've been told that my perspective on digital marketing is rather unique. You see, it's been born out of a synthesis of my years of clinical training, seeing patients, and carefully observing all manners of human behavior, with the digital marketing experiences from building my companies and consulting with other businesses. Now, over the years, I've concluded one very simple truth about digital marketing, and I want to share that with you right now. You see, I've come to realize that at the heart of it all, successful digital marketing and advertising is not really about technology at all. Technology merely provides the access to new digital platforms and audiences. Ultimately, successful digital marketing and advertising is still, when you boil it all down, about understanding and influencing human behavior. Now, in this video series, I'm going to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of a successful digital strategy. This is specifically designed to help you influence human behavior in order to drive revenue growth in your business. So whether you're involved in a startup, a small or medium-sized business that's struggling to transition into the digital economy, or whether you're part of the executive leadership of a legacy brand and you're looking for someone to provide some thought leadership and strategic direction surrounding your organization's digital transformation, I am confident you'll find this lecture series valuable to your business. Now, there's 7 videos in this series, and we are so certain of your satisfaction. The first one's about to start, and it's yours to enjoy and share at no charge or obligation. Let's get started together at my whiteboard. So as I just said, successful digital marketing and advertising, it has very little to do with computers. What it has to do with is understanding and influencing human behavior. So computers are going to be how we reach people. It's going to be the digital platforms that we use to access audiences. But at the end of the day, the most important thing to understand is nothing's really changed here. This is all about understanding and influencing human behavior. And so let's think together for a few minutes strategically now. Who do you do business with? Because remember, at the end of the day, marketing has to be about influencing people's human behavior to get them to do business with you. So who do you do business with? If you're anything like me, you do business with people that you know, people you like, and people you trust, right? So let's always keep that in mind. People we know, people we like, and people we trust. This is at the core of everything we want to do with your digital marketing strategy. Everything we do, every piece of content we create together, every process we develop, we should ask ourselves, is this contributing to make sure that people know about us, like us, and trust us? And if the answer to those questions is yes to any one of those, then we do it, and it's important. If it's not, then we quickly ask ourselves, what is going on here? Are we getting off track? It's about people knowing, liking, and trusting us. And in order to make that happen, we have to win what marketers call the most valuable moments of truth. And whether you're marketing directly to consumers and you're a B2C business, or whether you're a B2B business and you're trying to reach other businesses, there are moments of truth that businesses and organizations go through when they're trying to decide who they're going to do business with. And you need to win those moments of truth. So we call them the MOTS. And we'll say, are you winning the MOTS? And the first one is top of mind. The second one is frame of mind. And the third one is friend of mind. What do I mean by these? Top of mind, that's really about awareness. And it's about who do you know? So if you're a child like me and you grew up in the 70s and 80s, there was a company out that used to have a commercial that they ran relentlessly. And they said at the end of every commercial, how do you spell relief? And if you're like me and you're born in the 70s or 80s, you'd say R-O-L-A-I-D-S, Rolaids, spells relief. Because they relentlessly, they conditioned their tagline and the spelling of that product's name into our minds so that it was literally top of mind. That phrase, how do you spell relief? And every kid from the 70s, 80s will say R-O-L-A-I-D-S. And it's almost a laughable joke, but they had enormous resources behind it. It's incredibly valuable to do. It's extraordinarily expensive. Very few small or medium-sized businesses have the resources to deliver a national branded awareness level campaign to the depths of such that 30 years after those commercials are stopping running, I can still recite you the tagline. But if you can do it and if you can afford it, it is valuable. The second moment of truth is frame of mind. And frame of mind is about consideration. And consideration is when somebody enters into and they're considering a purchase. They're entering into the product or service acquisition pipeline. This is an incredibly important moment of truth because the consumer is saying something like this to themselves. I'm considering at some point in the not too distant future a purchase of, say, an automobile. I think I might need or might like an automobile. And when they begin to enter into the product or service acquisition pipeline, they're in a state of consideration. And in that moment of consideration, they are very open to messages, advertisements, and information about a service or a product they are interested in acquiring. And inside of consideration, it's complex. There is need versus want. I'll give you a quick example on the car thing. If somebody says, I really need a new car and I need it now. My old one has died. The mechanic tells me it's tens of thousands of dollars to get it running again. I can't be without a car. I need a car and I need it now. You message that person very differently with different content and different offers than you do somebody who says something to this effect. I think I might want to trade up and get the new body style. I saw it the other day and I really thought it was a pretty car and I've heard it has lots of features and benefits that my older one doesn't have. I mean, my older one's fine, but I'd really like to have the new body style car. That's a totally different message, right? And as advertisers, if we can figure out if this person who's in the frame of mind in a state of consideration is having a need versus a want driving their decision making, that's incredibly valuable information, right? And that information can be turned into business intelligence and drive sales. And then finally, this third moment of truth, this friend of mine, this is perhaps the most valuable one of the three. And I'll give you just a brief example. Back to the car analogy. If somebody says to me, Jason, check out my new Ford. I heard you're looking for a new car and I got this new Ford truck. And I said, oh my goodness, I love it. Congratulations. And he hands me a card and he says, here's the card of my salesperson. They were terrific. They really helped me out. They gave me great service. If you're looking for a new car like you mentioned, call this guy. And I say, thanks for thinking of me, but no thanks. I've got a friend of mine in the business. I bought 10 cars from him over the last 25 years. We've known each other since we were kids. We have tremendous trust, and I like him. and I know them and I have a comfort level that only a friendship gives me, that's incredibly valuable. And it doesn't have to be that intense. It could be a friendship with somebody who I just, I go to this local deli for lunch pretty regularly, and I like the people there. I don't know them all that well, but I like them. They know my name, and I feel like I have a friend there, and I like the food, and I trust them that they're making it in a safe, clean way. There's a valuable beginning of a friendship that's incredibly valuable. And there's nothing that Applebee's could say to me with their advertisements that would make me switch away from the people that I like in this place that I go regularly, right? So a friend of mine is incredibly powerful. And if you can win all three of these moments of truth, top of mind, frame of mind, friend of mind, then you're going to be sure that your prospect know, like, and trust you. And then the decision's made. It's just a matter of how much, how soon, and how long are they going to do business with you. And the third thing we're going to talk about strategically is media. And we need a media strategy because media can be expensive. So what we're going to try to do loosely is move people from paid media to earned to owned. What do I mean by that? Paid media is any media where you want to send a message to an audience that you don't have access to without paying somebody to deliver that message, like a television commercial or a radio spot, or even a digital ad that you place on Facebook or any other platform, any other digital platform. If you have to pay somebody every time you access that audience and deliver your message, that's paid media. That gets expensive, and you don't want to have to pay media every single time you want to say something to potential prospects. So your paid media strategy should always be about trying to move the audience in an orderly way to at least your earned media, and then preferably your owned media, and do it directly as quickly as possible. Earned media is things like your Facebook page. So if you have a business Facebook page and you see all these campaigns that people are saying, like our business Facebook page, you think to yourself, why does everybody want to have somebody like their business Facebook page? Because, my friends, they are building themselves an earned media audience. And it is incredibly valuable because, unlike paid media, when you have somebody who clicks like and they like your business page, you can message people and say something to the people in that audience without having to pay the media company and paid media to access those people and send them a message. These are the people who are most likely to do business with you out of this paid pool if you've got them into an earned audience. So that's incredibly valuable. And most importantly, how do you keep that earned audience? Well, you keep it by keeping up your quality, your reputation, and building content that you regularly deliver to the earned media audience that is valuable and authentic to the people who've joined that audience. And as long as you continue to serve up valuable information and content that they perceive is worth being a part of that audience for, just like the audience in a movie theater, they'll continue to stay in the audience. As soon as the content isn't good, as soon as it's no longer valuable or contributing to their lives, they will leave the audience. So the earned media audience is incredibly valuable, and it's worth doing, particularly if you can't get them to your website right away. But if you can, you get them over to your owned media, which is your website, where you control all of the content, the experience, and most importantly, you have access to all of the information that tells you about the behavior of those individuals on your website, like what content they watched, what videos they played, what pages they visited. Did they linger around for a long time on the pricing page? Did they break off on your shopping cart if you transact online? Did they think about scheduling an appointment or a consultation but never quite come in? You learn an incredible amount of business intelligence if they're on your owned media, and you have a process for taking that business intelligence from their behavior on your website and turning it into actionable business intelligence by adding business process. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. But before I get ahead of myself, let's just summarize this. At the end of the day, in order to get a return on investment for your marketing and advertising dollars, we need to understand that this isn't about computers, it's about human behavior. And people do business with people they know, like, and trust. In order to get them to know, like, and trust you, we've got to make sure that you win those 3 valuable moments of truth: top of mind awareness, frame of mind consideration, and friend of mind trust in relationships. And in order to do that, we're going to use the media, and we're going to move them from paid media as rapidly as possible to your owned media, and preferably put them onto your website where we have them in an audience that you control not only the messaging, but all of the data about their experience. Now, in the next video, we are going to talk about constructing world-class customer journeys that move people from paid to earned to owned so that they know, like, and trust you. And we're going to do it by using data to construct these digital customer journeys. And the sole purpose is going to be to drive revenues higher for your business. Stay tuned if this is of interest to you.